Hello everyone. A warm welcome to Salesforce Apex Hours. Myself Meera R. Nair, and as part of Service Cloud series, today we are going to see basics of case management. Thank you so much Amit Chowdhury for giving me this opportunity to share my knowledge. A little about myself. I am currently working as a solution architect at UST Trivandrum, India. I am 18X certified and also Salesforce MVP. I am also a co-lead of Trivandrum Developer Group. This is our agenda for today. We are going to see case basics, basic setup for cases, different methods by which you will be able to create cases in Salesforce, in which we are going to see two of this approach, that is email to case and web to case in detail. So what is a case? A case is nothing but it can be a customer's question about some product or inquiry about a feature of a product, or it can be a feedback about a particular product, or once a customer purchased a product and if he is finding out some issue with the product, like for a laptop, you purchased a new laptop and if the battery is not working, you can also raise an issue as a case. So there are different use cases in which you will be able to utilize the standard Salesforce case feature. Another important thing is that even if this is part of Service Cloud, case object is available with Sales Cloud also. How internal users or support agents and sales rep will be benefited by utilizing cases. Support agents will be able to review, raise cases, and see how efficient is their support process, and even come up with innovative ideas to improve their support process. Similarly, sales rep who are working on the direct deal with the customers, they will be able to review their sales process to see how they will be able to improve the sales process based on the issues raised by different customers. Now let us see some basic setup that we need to do within Salesforce before getting started with utilizing cases. We are going to see three different basic setup. One is the support setting, second is setting up of business hours, third is setting up of support holidays. To do the basic support setting, we need to go to setup, and under support setting, you will be able to do a couple of settings here. So let us see how we will be able to do that. For that, let me open my developer org and let us open support setting. So this is the standard support setting. You can edit this and modify or populate different values or different settings available as part of support settings. One of the basic settings that you need to do is populate the default support case owner. That is, a case will be assigned to a queue or a user based on the assignment rule that we set up in this particular case object. Later we are going to see how we will be able to create queues and assignment rules. But if your case is not satisfying any of the assignment rule criteria, there should be a default owner for your case. So that you will be able to set up here. Similarly, you will be able to set up some case notification email templates, that is the email fired when a case is getting created within Salesforce or to whom those cases are sent. For all these different scenarios, you can choose the email template when all you need to basically notify the users when a case is getting created, updated, what should be the from address, and how the case attachment should work. All these different settings you will be able to do as part of support settings. Second is setting up business hours. So what is business hours? You will be able to specify the hours or days in which your support team is available to serve your customers. As part of business hours, you will be able to specify the dates and the time duration in which support team will be available. Also, once you set up the business hours, all the case escalation process will be depend upon this particular business hours. That is, the case escalation rules or the milestones associated with the cases, everything will be working based on your business hours only. Let us see how you will be able to set up business hours. From setup, let us go to business hours. You can see a default setting here. This one you will be able to always go and edit, or you will be able to create your own business hours also. And here, like I mentioned, you can modify, like if your support people are not available on Sunday and Saturday, you can uncheck this. Similarly, on the working days, if it is not 24 hours, you will be able to specify the time period in which your support agents or support users will be available. Now let us go to the third option or third setting that we need to do, that is support holidays. All company will be having holidays, and you can create or you can define when is the company holiday, and you will be able to associate this holiday with a particular business hour setup, so that your escalation rules and all the milestones will be held during this holiday period. Let us go to holiday setup and see like how you will be able to create a holiday and associate it with business hours. Go to setup, open holidays under company settings, and you can see I have already added the Christmas holiday on 25. Now let us try to create a new holiday here, and let us mark this as New Year, and let me select the date as 2022 January 1st and save this. And you can see the business hours as a selected list. Here you will be able to select the default business hours, or if you have got some other business hours set up already in your system, you can select that, and automatically this particular holiday will be associated with that particular business hours. Later, when you are creating a case, you can mention this particular business hours setup in your case, so that that case is going to always follow the specified business hour setup. Now let us see some basic quick actions that you need to create for basic case functionality to work. In Classic, these features will be available by default, but for Lightning, you need to create specific quick actions and you need to add to case layout. Then only these actions will be available as part of case layout. As an example, log a call, send emails, change status, change owner, close case, case comment. These are some quick actions that you need to create. Let me go to case and open our standard case object. I can open it under sales itself. Let me open an existing case itself for now. And here is where those actions will be available. I have already created an action for close case. That's why we are able to close a particular case with specific comments. Let me show you how you can create another action. For example, now you can see I don't have an option to add a comment for a particular case. So let us create a particular quick action for adding comments under a case. For that, you need to go to setup, open case object, and under buttons, click new action. So since this is a new comment creation, it should be create a record, and we can select the target object as case comment. Label you can mention like add comment. Let us save this now. Once this case action is saved, automatically you will be navigated to the page layout of adding a comment quick action, and if you want to add some other fields, you can add it there, or you can just keep the standard one and save this. Now we have created the quick action. As the next step, you need to add this to the case page layout. For now, I am going to update the standard case layout. You can go to mobile and lightning action. You will be able to see this add comment quick action that we just added, and you can drag and drop this under Salesforce mobile and lightning experience actions and save the layout. Now if you go back to the same page layout and refresh, under the feed you should be able to see this add comment action also. You can see add comment, and here you will be able to add a comment and save that. Similar to this, you will be able to create quick actions for other operations like changing an owner or closing a case. We already saw case comment also we just created. If you want to have a quick action for changing status, send them a log a call, you can create and add to page layout like this. Now let us see what are the different case creation options. There are many options available to create cases. There is an email to case operation available. Web to case is there, where you can have a form created in some other external website, from where you will be able to create a case and that will get populated in your Salesforce environment, or manual case creation that we can see shortly. Automated case creation, that is based on a criteria. If you want to create a case from a flow or utilizing some code, you can do case creation like that. Or there are some other options also, like answer site. You will be able to escalate unanswered questions to case, or turn emails and social media posts to cases, or convert customer interactions like phone chat message into cases. But the last few options needs a additional license for you to work on. So we are going to see manual web to case and email to case options now. Manual, I'm sure you all are familiar with how to create a case manually. Like, you can directly go to case tab from sales, or this is available as part of service, or you have case object available as part of your service console also. This is where normally your service agents going to work. Now let us go back to our sales itself and try to create, or service itself, and let us try to create a new case from here. This is manual operation. You can simply click on the new case button. This is one option. Similar to this, the case is available as the related list as part of multiple objects like case, contact, opportunity, like that. So even from the related list of these objects, you will be able to create cases. Otherwise, you can directly create from a case tab. Once you enable this in Community Cloud, even case your external users or customers or partners, they also will be able to create cases from your community site. You can associate a contact for this particular newly created case, and normally the account will be associated automatically based on the populated contact, and status is where you will be defining what is the current status of this particular case. These are picklist values that you will be able to customize based on your business scenario. Like, you might need more status field values sometimes, so you can edit and add more values. Similarly, priority, like this is a standard one, low, medium and high. If you want to add something else, you will be able to create that one also. Case origin, you can see we have got as of now phone, email and web options available. You will be able to add additional case origin options also here. Type also important, like what type of cases you are going to create for this particular environment. And these are some by default case types available. You can always go ahead and modify this and create your own case type. Case reason, again a standard field available that you can mention, like whether it is a feedback, a breakdown, performance related issue, and if this case is associated with some other existing cases already in the system, you can mention that one also. These are some operations which is available for web to case. And subject basically tells us what is this case about. You can mention like battery is not working, and in the description you can mention additional details about the product, like product serial code. If you want to mention, you can add it here. All those details you can mention, and if you have got some internal comments, that one also you can mention. And there is an option to send notification email to contact. You can enable this. Once the fields are populated, you can save this case. This is how you will be able to create a case manually. Second option what we are going to see for case creation is email to case. That is, if you create a particular route email address within Salesforce, your customers will be able to send email to that particular address, and automatically a case will be getting registered within your Salesforce system. There are multiple advantages with this approach, like users, they don't need to log into your system and register cases. And in most of the case, what people are doing in their public website, they will be creating a normal email address like company@support.com, something like that. And that email address, emails that we are sending to that particular email address, can be automatically routed to the email address that we created as part of email to case, then this will get processed and automatically a case will be getting created. Another advantage is that we will be able to measure the case interaction details, like how many inbound and outbound emails has got exchanged between the customer and the support agent before the issue is closed. And you'll be able to create multiple routing address that you can distribute as part of different operations. Another advantage is that all assignment rules, escalation rules, or workflow rules, everything will get executed as part of normal email to case process also. In addition to this, users will be able to send attachments, like so there, if there are some issues, they will be able to add some attachments, and that will be also getting added to the case. Now let us see how you will be able to create or set up email to case. Let us go to setup and look for email to case. Under service, you can see email to case option. And there are some basic settings that you need to do. That is, initially you need to enable email to case feature. Now there is something that you need to take care. That is, once you enable email to case, you cannot disable it. There are two options by which you will be able to create email to case. You will be seeing that later. One is on demand and one is standard email to case. For standard email to case, actually you need to download and install email to case agent behind your network's firewall. So we are not going by that option now. We will be utilizing on demand email to case. And there are some other settings, like what you need to do if unauthorized sender is sending an email. Those kind of settings you will be able to do, and additional settings like notify case owners on new emails, enable HTML email, set case source to email by default. That is, automatically whenever we are getting a new case from email, the source will be set as email by default. Then this option is what I was mentioning, like you will be able to save attachments that is coming as part of your case into case Salesforce files. Once the basic setup is done, here you will be able to see where, how you can create a new routing address for email to case. You can click on new and create a name, or something like product support. So all the product support related issues, you can give a specific email address. And you also need to mention an email address to be associated with this particular process. So I'm giving my own email here. If you want to create a task also from the email, you can select this option, and you can also set up a by default owner for this. For now, I'm setting it as my own user. What should be the case priority of email to case functionality that you can mention here? And case origin, like we mentioned, by default it is going to be email. Let us save this. So it's showing error that the email to case routing email address must be different than the default case owner's email address. So I'm just giving a dummy email here for now. And let us save this. This is the email service address. Now, like I mentioned, it's not easy to utilize this, or it is not good to publish this email address in your public websites. Instead, like we mentioned, you can create a normal support email address utilizing your email provider or email service which your company is utilizing, and you can have a by default routing or forward notification from that particular email address to this particular support email, so that automatically cases can be created. For now, let us utilize this particular address itself and try to send a new email and see if cases are getting created. I'm composing a new email message and giving to address as the new email that we just created. request. I'm giving it as demo. This is a and details you can mention about your problem, like battery of new laptop is not working, something like that you can mention. Let us add an attachment also to see if it is working, and let me send this. We can go back to our cases, go to all open cases. Here you can see a new case got created from the email that we just sent, and all the details you can see, like we have mentioned, the priority is medium, and the subject same as the email subject, and the email content will be populated to description. This is the standard format. And also the other thing was we have mentioned an attachment, and let us go to the related list and see, like if under attachment we have, yes, you can see the attachment as part of email got added to the attachment related list. So this is how email to case is working. Like I mentioned, there are two types of email to case functionality. One is on demand, which we just did, and the other is standard email to case. You have got specific business case in which both should be used. And on demand, it will keep the email traffic outside your network's firewall and refuse emails larger than 25 MB. But if you need to send emails larger than 25 MB and if it is within your network, you should use email to case functionality. And this one is utilizing a Salesforce Apex email service. But the email to case is utilizing an agent that is downloaded and installed in your local machine. Number of emails converted or possible in each day there is different limit also. For on demand, it's up to number of user license multiplied by 1000, and there is a daily limit also. But email to case daily we can have maximum 2500 only. For size, like we mentioned, on demand it should be less than 25 MB. Email to case should be used if you are expecting more than 25 MB. That about email to case functionality, which is going to be a very useful feature when you want to run your support process. Similar to email to case, there's a web to case functionality also. That is, from a site directly, if they want to send information or inquiry, and if that needs to be created as a case in Salesforce, you will be able to utilize web to case. And how to set up, like you need to enable this feature first, and then create and customize your web form to decide what are the different fields to be displayed as part of this form. Then you need to generate the HTML content for this particular form, and you can add this to your website. There are some initial setup that you also need to done, like the case fields to be included in the form, like we just discussed. The email template for notification, like the owner should be notified when a new case is getting created. You need to select an email template, and also required queues for assignment, like if the origin is web, to whom this should be assigned. All those things you will be able to set up before doing web to case, and you can decide on the case ownership also. Let us see, let us go and see how the basic setup should be done. Similar to email to case, there is web to case. This is already enabled in my environment. And also you can see default response template, like whenever a case is getting created to web to case process, the creator will be automatically notified if this is populated. And once web to case is enabled, there is a web to case HTML generator that you can utilize to generate your form. Here you will be able to select the available fields. You can mention contact name, email, phone, subject, description, and if any other fields you would like to add, you can select it here and enter the URL that user will be returned to after this after the customer has submitted the details. So what we are going to do here is, once we have generated this HTML content, I have created a public community site. We can add this web form there and see if it is working or not. So default URL, I'm going to give it as my site itself. Let us open and get the address of that particular site. This is the site, that is customer support. Once that is also populated, you can click on generate, and this code you will be able to utilize anywhere. Now let us go to my experience builder, update my site and included this particular form so that we will be able to create a new web to case based on this. For that, from the components, let us drag and drop this HTML editor to here. And you can edit this HTML editor markup. Utilize the HTML code that got created here. And save this. You can see all the fields that we mentioned as part of the web to lead got created or are coming automatically here. Since this is added, let us publish this. It might take a couple of minutes to see the changes, but let us give a try. This is a public site, so let me open this in a new window. You can see that the web to case form got added to our site automatically. Let me populate some basic details. Subject, let us keep it as web to case demo. Description, testing web to case from customer site, and I'm submitting this. Since I have given the redirection URL same as the site got refreshed, like you can see. Now let us go back to the case list and see if we have new case created from the web to case form. You can see the web to case demo that we just entered from the site got created here successfully. Let us go to the subject and verify if it is coming as expected. Yes, you can see subject web to case demo and description also. You can see whatever I have given, it's coming and getting populated correctly. This is how you will be able to utilize web to case form. You can share this with your company portal people so that they will be able to include this as part of their public site, and cases will get created in our Salesforce system automatically whenever customers are having some question or they would like to raise issue related to their product. There are some considerations for web to case, especially with respect to the type of data that you will be able to populate, and the major limitation is that you will be able to create maximum 5,000 cases only utilizing this particular feature. That's what we wanted to cover in today's session. In the next session, we are going to see more details about queues, how assignment rules are going to work, how escalation rules are going to work, and how auto response rules are going to work for a case. Thank you so much.